Yes.
Been a long time. Shouldn't have left you without a dope beat.
It's still.
But you can't be any geek off the street. Gotta be handy with the steel, if you know what I mean.
Keep it real.
Keeping it real.
Hello and welcome to the channel. My name is Steven and this is Steel Keeping It Real. So you know what today is.
He's got glasses. He's got a yacht.
You don't say.
He's not only got a yacht, he's got a bicycle.
Daphne?
That's right, it is Yacht Rock Wednesday. And on this day, I like to do adult contemporary hits from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, and they are normally of a Caucasian persuasion. Now, I wasn't going to do a second video, but my medicine kicked in and I'm not slurring my words, so I think I'm going to be fine. So the song that I'm going to do comes from 1975, and it is America's Sister Golden Hair. Now, when I started doing some background on this, I noticed that there's a different singer here from the normal singer that did things like Tin Man, A Horse with No Name, and Ventura Highway. It seems like there's a new lineup to America. Now, also what I realized is that there have been, this is like the second instance, maybe even the third, of America taking influence from another particular famous group or person and doing a song in that style. And so when they did A Horse with No Name, they got certain backlash because they all, they said they were Crosby, Stills, Nash sound-alikes. And it's weird, I always thought up until maybe just this time frame that, Crosby, Stills, Nash, or one of them had a hand in making America, but I guess they didn't. So there's one thing that I learned. So I also learned with Sister Golden Hair that the lead singer, who is the songwriter, his name is Jerry Beckley, he took inspiration from Jackson Browne and his style of singing to put out this song. Now, when I read this, I often thought it was like a diss, but it's not a diss if I read it completely. It says, the lyrics were largely inspired by the works of Jackson Browne. Beckley commented, Jackson Browne has a knack of ability to put into words that is much more like the LA approach to just genuine observation as opposed to simplifying it down to its bare essentials. I find Jackson Browne can depress me a little bit, but only through his honesty, and it was that style of his which led to a song of mine, which is probably the more LA of my lyrics, which is Sister Golden Hair. So I thought that was pretty cool. It's not a diss. It's almost like, what do they say? Impersonation is the sincerest form of flattery. And I'm not mad at them because, especially now and maybe in the 80s, 90s or whatever, they always had us like some record executive hears it as like, we want a song like that. And then, somebody does a song like that and then they get backlash for it because like, you sound like so-and-so. But, there's more and more of that right now. There's so many people out there that sound like, somebody else. They don't sound original. And that's probably why I don't listen to a lot of new music anymore. So let's take a look at what this song did on the charts and Balamo. It went to number 28 in Australia, number 11 on the Canada Top Singles, number 3 on the Canada Adult Contemporary, number 26 in New Zealand, number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, number 5 on the US Easy Listening, just another way of saying Adult Contemporary, number 2 on the US Cashbox Top 100, number 1 on Record World, and number 1 on US Radio and Records. So they did pretty good, and America had a lot of hits. I think they had at least 5 or 6 hits, because you have You Can Do Magic, which was in the 80s. I think that might have been their last top 10 hit, but you know, you have Sister Golden Hair, you have Ventura Highway, you have A Horse with No Name. Those are just the ones I can remember off the top of my head, but I'm sure they had, you know, at least a couple of more. So if you like videos like this and others on my channel, please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button, because I'm trying to do as many videos as I can each and every week. So, without any further ado, here is America and Sister Golden Hair.
Well, because when I was like 9 or 10 years old, my parents pulled over on the side of the road to look at that big dinosaur out there in California. And next thing I know, they're gone.
Wait a minute. Did you have a brother?
I did. So, you want to go back in the house? We can have sex.
Well, I tried to make it Sunday, but I got so damn depressed that I set my sights on Monday and I got myself undressed. I ain't ready for the altar, but I do agree there's times when a woman sure can be a friend of mine. Well, I keep on thinking about you, Sister Golden Hair Surprise, and I just can't live without you. Can't you see it in my eyes? I've been one poor correspondent, I've been too hard to find, but it doesn't mean you ain't been on my mind. Will you meet me in the middle? Will you meet me in the air? Will you love me just a little, just enough to show you care? Well, I tried to fake it, I don't mind saying I just can't make it. I just can't make it.
All right, so that was Sister Golden Hair by America. Now, even, they did sound a little Jackson Brownish, but they also had, when that bridge came in, it sounded a little Beach Boys-ish. And, the Beach Boys were really big in the 60s and, even into the 70s and into the 80s. One thing I applaud people is that almost anybody who had a hit song in the 70s and some in the 60s had a hit song in the 80s. I thought it was really cool, because America, like I said, they had, their hits like in the early 70s, and then they had a hit in 1982 with You Can Do Magic. Even Crosby, Stills, and Nash, you know, they had Southern Cross was a song in the 80s when they had all those hits from the 60s and the 70s. Even Jefferson Airplane or Jefferson Starship or Airplane or whatever you want to call it, whenever they changed their name, they did it. Heart did it. You know, Ozzy Osbourne did it. You know, there are just so many people that had hits in the 70s or that were popular in the 70s that had hits in the 80s. The only ones were the people that, you know, passed away, like Jimi Hendrix, Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, but they are still revered to this day. So their legacy holds true. So if you are still here, I thank you very much for staying tuned. I really do appreciate it. First and foremost, I want you guys to like the videos as much as I like making them for you. After that, all you need to do to help me out with the channel is to like, subscribe, share, and comment. Peace.